guys, well this episode is about the rear suspension, which we will get there, but getting back to the front wheel, you win some, you lose some, I always say. Now put this wheel together and sort of checked it with run out, and it did have it's hit a few potholes for sure, and it did have some flat spots on it. And I thought about it, and I thought, oh, I'll take it to a guy who can possibly roll them out for me, and he was going to charge about $350, I think. So I took the rim along to him. He put it on his machine and he says, mate, she's a bit too far gone. So the next plan was to hunt around for a better rim, and what I come up with was a set of CX650 turbo rims. This rim is an 18-inch, so the hub's exactly the same, so I should be able to, get the hub out of this rim and fit it back into the gold rim. I'll get this rim painted black, and I'll take this rim out and replace it with my Kawasaki CX rim. But one of the good things about taking this rim apart again was how good the riveting was that I had done on it. The rivets had really deformed nicely into the counterbores of the spokes. Well, you can see the counterbore there in the spokes, and looking at the rivets here, you can see how the rivets have deformed nicely into the counterbore of the spokes. So they were really nice and tight coming out, very tight actually, tighter than the originals I'd say. So yeah, quite happy with that. I think that's a pretty good method of reattaching the spokes to a Comstar wheel. Of course, on a build like this, nothing ever goes smoothly. That's half of the fun, I guess. The challenges that the build brings up. And the next part was that the wheels on 650 Euro are both 18-inch. On the 500 Turbo, it's an 18-inch front wheel and it's a 17-inch back wheel. But not only that, the CX650 wheel looks like that. Taking note of this bearing housing here, it's pretty well flush, and it has a let's call it a male driven drive. Put that there like that, and the 500 Turbo has a boss that sticks out. I don't know if you can see that, and it has a female driven drive. So the easiest way for me to get this right is to take this hub out of here and put that hub into here, and then it will fit straight into the swing arm. Really confident about the bolts and the riveting on the rims, so shouldn't be a problem. That's what I'm going to do. The actual outside dimensions of the both rims are the same. So yeah, that's another job I've got to do. Okay, well, I've just put the rear hub off the 650 Euro through the wet blaster, and she's come up nice and clean, ready for painting. But yeah, that's going to fit real nicely in the here. Of course, the spokes are different from the from the 650 to the 500 euro, because this is a 7-inch rim, but the actual inside diameter is really good. It's spot on. So yeah, let's get that painted black and ready to be assembled. Well, the front wheel is now complete. The Kawasaki hub is now fitted into the CX wheel. Discs are on, calipers are on, and yeah, she's returning really nice. Put the dial indicator on the discs, and I probably got about 0.1 of a mil run out, and service limit's like 0.3. So that's all ready to go. I'll give you a closer look at this. Yeah, just checking the run out there. Pretty happy with that. So it's all go with the front wheel now and the front end. Okay, we're just about to do the rear wheel. So the hub is off the 650 Euro wheel is now into the turbo wheel. Put new bearings in it, new seals on the other side. So we're now ready to rivet these rivets in. Got all new zinc plated high tensile bolts in there. So yeah, I had to drill out. We drilled these out to 8 mil in the actual hub as well. So yeah, just going to start. We've just got this. This is a bigger axle, of course, for than the CX, but I've just got it set up now with the rivet sitting on the anvil, and I'm just about to start riveting this head over. Okay, the rivets are now in place and been riveted over. They're all nice and tight. So the next thing is to just go through, tension these bolts up, and then I'll TIG weld them. So I'll just tighten them up. I'll just check the tension on here again. Okay, I've set the tension wrench to 29 Newton meters. Okay, they're all ready now to get TIG welded. Well, that's the two wheels now complete. We now have the CX500 wheel fitted into the 650 Euro hub, and the front wheel has got the setup for the Kawasaki hub. Wheels are running really nice. About all I need now is to change the tyres on them, get some decent tyres. These have been sitting around for a while, a bit perished on the side. But we now have the CX500 turbo wheels on the CX650 Euro frame and the Kawasaki forks. So the next thing now that I can get into is setting up the rear suspension. So that's the next thing I've got to get into. Well, we're on to the rear suspension now. The Honda CBR 954 rear shocks are in place. Linkages are in place. I haven't put the seals into the linkage or anything like that yet, but yeah, just made up a template for the bracket that I require, and converted that over to 2 brackets for the like that actually. Yeah, sorry, like that. So yeah, converted them over to 2 brackets that I'll now fit them in. I'll probably put some cross pieces on them to strengthen them up and hold them together, and yeah, get them to the welder so we can weld them onto the ProLink linkage. Okay, the bracket's in there. I've just tacked it onto the the link arm, the Pro Link arm, and I'm just checking the lay of the bike, but I feel I'm going to have to put the motor in, because if the motor's in, it's going to put a little bit more, bring the front suspension down a bit. So yeah, I might do that before I totally send this away to get welded. But the motor is pretty well, it's fairly well built, you know. I've just got to polish the top covers, get the thermostat on, and that's it, done. Everything else is done on it. So I'll whack that motor in and just see how the stance of the bike looks after with the motor in. Okay, I'm just about to TIG weld this bracket up. Okay, that looks good. So there's my bracket. I'll just let that cool down, and then I might tack it to the Pro Link arm and just see the position and send it out to get professionally welded. We'll let that cool down. Okay, I've just got this set up on the link arm. I'm just going to put a couple of tacks on it and fit it back in the bike and check it one more time. So that's looking good for the position. Okay, the linkage is now back into the bike. I've just got that all held in loosely with 10mm bolts. I did put new tyres on the bike. I put Michelin Road Classics on, and that's turning nicely there. I put a piece of 20mm wood under here just to get it off the ground. Because if they were both touching, you know, the centre stand wouldn't work. But that's a nice distance from the frame as well. Motor's in, but they've got the motor looks nice and level there. So yeah, it all looks good. I'm just going to get that out now and get it welded. Well, I've got the link arm has come back from the welders, and he's done a really nice job. He used a nickel TIG welding rod. He heated it up, fully welded it, and then he laid it in lime, and it's come out really strong. It ain't going to break. But yeah, shafts are in with seals on both ends. So this is now ready to go back into the. She's now ready to go back into the bike. So yeah, let's get in and see how she looks. Okay, the Pro Link system is now back in the bike. I've used high tensile 10mm fine threaded bolts with lock nuts on. I'll probably pin them with split pins as well, so they won't come off. I did set the bike up with a 20mm piece of wood underneath the rear tyre. So the wheel spins when she's on the centre stand. Angle of the swing arm looks good, and I've got plenty of clearance up here where the guard's going to go. But yeah, the suspension seems pretty right at the moment. It's fairly nice and firm without any rebound. I have moved the rebound control on the shocky. So yeah, at the moment I'm happy with it. Of course, it's all going to be set up once the bike is on the road, really. But as far as work goes, this tank's got to be done. I'm working on the carbies at the moment, just cleaning them up, putting kits in them. The differential's got to be done, brakes are got to be done, and all the wiring and controls. So yeah, plenty of work ahead of me, but yeah, we're getting there slowly.